weekly wheeler. Today is Saturday 3rd of February. Looking at the May contract start off old crop, and obviously markets closed, so it's, we've got the daily bar chart in front of us. We can identify that the market is well below the SMA 60. We've got a trend line on here, falling channel, that we can see clearly that the market's been following October, November, December, January. We had this range that we saw during December and January, which we was getting worried that was going to break out of. 140 was the base. Broke out week before last, had a rally back up to test 140, and now is falling back down again to 137.60. See 36 possibly next week. We will not see this change until we see a breakout above the 142. So looks like what we've been saying for the last couple of months, old crop, don't see much future of holding it. Looks like it's on the way down still. It's had its day. Let's go on to the new crop. On the new crop, what's been catching his eye is the long-term contract is still holding above the yearly, holding above the 60 SMA. 141.60 was the close. You can see they're still here. We've got these two preceding candles, December, January, and we're starting this tight range candle here. Let's pop down into monthly. We can identify here that we had a holding month last month, and we're into this month, and we've got a tight range at the present moment. We can identify here that a swing low here, 141. Pop down into the weekly. We can see here that we had this big red candle seeding week where we went down and tested the low of 139, and this week we have held here and closed 141.60, still on the green, within this range that we've seen since the beginning of December. Pop down an all-important daily, and we can see a completely different chart to what we're looking on the old crop. Though we are below the 60 SMA, we've got up to test it here, tagged it right, closed right on the level, see how important that is, and we're back here within this range at the moment. High of 143 that we failed to break out of this week. We can identify the swing low here that we saw on the monthly chart, 141, which is acting as support. We can see on Thursday the market came came down to test this level and then went back up and test the 42. So where do we see at the present moment? Let's look at this sort of as a holding pattern at the present moment. We're in this pattern. A breakout of 143 and a confirmation close above the 60 opens the door to the upside. We will look for a change of this theory at the moment if we see a close below the 140. But at the present moment, we'd expect more of the same, holding with this pattern at the present moment, looking for a break above the 60 SMA. Completely different direction from what's happening on the old crop. We just finally look at what's happening on the US market. We can see the 60 SMA, this on the daily chart here, back from August of last year when we saw the high of $620 a bushel. This was broken in August. We came all the way back down, and we've now broken above the 60 SMA. So this has been 6 months since we've done this. We've also gone above the important $5 a bushel level. We have fallen back the last 3 days, but at the moment holding above this $5. This could be an interesting move. Something's stirring up over there. We've been in a bear market for a long while. Is this the start of an Elliott wave move? I can see here, class my eye on here, 1, 2, and this could be a possible 3. But let's keep an eye on that. That's probably what's adding support on the new crop. We'll not see a surprise. Just come back and test that $5 mark. And obviously I'll put an update this time next week.